Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Hello everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for the DCTV shows Legends of Tomorrow and Black Lightning. I'm your host, Cleo. With me, I have Rachel.
Hi!
So far.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's funny having all the space.
Just two of us today.
Mm-hmm. Just two of us talking about just two shows.
For now.
Keeping it simple. Yeah, for now. Stuff's coming back next. Arrow's coming back next week? Or Supergirl? No.
Arrow comes back this week, actually. Arrow comes
so
back
we'll
on
cover
the 29th.
Okay, yeah, so we'll cover that next week.
Yep.
Cool.
Yes, and then Supergirl comes back on the 16th of April, so.
Neat. Let's start talking about Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
Was so good.
This episode was just like all over the place, but at the same time, it just had like two straight-linked stories.
Yeah.
And with a little bit of comic relief in there.
Mm-hmm.
With Mick and Zari.
Yeah.
So, I liked it just because we got a little bit more on Ava.
Yeah.
I begin to think that she's not a clone, but she's the original. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. When they were looking at the research or the stuff that was in the clone lab, they said that they took DNA from across the world to make this Ava clone.
So, what if she's like a mixture?
That's a lie.
Oh, I was going to say, but if she is a combination of all the DNA, maybe she was, sounds really bad. She's the original, but she was grown in a laboratory.
Yeah, that.
Like she grew up. They put all her DNA. So what if like her DNA is everything, all mixtures of the Legends DNA?
That's interesting. I think that's a lie, like that her DNA was constructed from like samples all over the world, because Ray makes a joke, like he mentions like, well, she looks a little pale for that.
So I don't know. It would be really interesting if she was like the daughter of everyone on the ship kind of thing.
Which would be very weird because she's boning down with Sarah.
Yeah, it would be very, very, very weird. But I don't know. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what they come up with. Yeah. But I have a feeling she's the original.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe she's been zapped to not remember.
She's definitely been zapped to not remember things. And I also feel like it's a lie because Rip deleted all her, her files. And
she has fake parents.
Yeah. Like, why would he go through all that just to hide the fact that she's a clone? It's got to be more than that.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be more.
Yeah, there has to be more. I don't know. I just think it's really, it's interesting, but it's nice to see. And she obviously didn't know. That's what makes me think that she's the original. I think, like, all the other clones kind of knew that they were a clone.
Yeah, and they're also a lot more robotic.
Yeah, yes. And, the poor Sarah on a planet with all her exes.
Oh my god, that was funny.
She's like, this is hell.
This is hell.
But Gary was loving it.
I still don't understand Gary. Like, I don't get him.
I don't think
I don't get him.
Understand.
There's nothing to understand.
Gary is Gary. We will never understand Gary. Sorry.
Yeah. He's a weird one.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so, I mean, obviously there's a reason why this is the reason why they don't want them going to, what is it? 22 to 13. And why would it say that she went there I don't know, maybe she went there and then got...
That was her first mission. That's what her
that's
her
right.
chronal whatever thingy
Maybe that's where she was born.
said.
No, not cloned,
Yeah.
but that's where she was born.
Yeah.
And then they used her DNA. But like you said, I think them saying, oh, she's been, basically all DNA spliced together from the best of blah, blah. I think that's more of a marketing play, because that sounded very, very marketing.
Yeah. Yes, actually, it really does.
So like, yeah, we got the best for you here, and it's really crap. But but yeah, so it's kind of interesting. I mean, was she like a ward of the government or something, or whatever? I mean, maybe she had parents and they don't want them to.
Is she Hitler's daughter? Like,
they don't want her to know who her parents are. And she has fairly limited memories.
Yeah.
And it's like memories that were put there, kind of thing. So, but yeah, no, I had a feeling something was off with her parents as soon as they got there. I was like,
because they both walked up to the door, and when the door was open, they were both standing there. No real people do that. No. It's just like,
no, my husband doesn't answer the door with me.
Yeah.
Usually I'm yelling at him, go get the door.
Yeah.
Go get the door. I don't want to get the door. Go get the door. Or my kid, go get the door. Because mom doesn't want to get up. Or mom's in her pajamas still. But it's neither here nor there. But she did say that like they walked out of an LL Bean catalog. And they did.
Yeah.
And then I just love the fact they were just like making comparisons before they figured it out. I can see where she gets her, she thought, but no, you could tell. Know who gave it away? The mom. The mom gave it away.
With what?
She was everything about that. Something wasn't right. Not only, I mean, just because she didn't know the 15th birthday party where they went. But the way she was talking, she just kept talking and talking and talking and yeah, too many. She was just over.
Although you'd be surprised how many normal people actually do that, and it's very irritating.
It is, but I don't know, something about this. You're like, and Sarah noticed right off the bat.
Oh, of course
she was just like, yeah, this. Well, Sarah's an assassin. She can tell when someone's not exactly being truthful to her. But yeah, I was just like, something's up.
She pulls a knife. That was so funny.
And then Dad just spilled the guts.
Whoa.
We were just told just to be here, just in case she came by, but she never visits. But they still get money. I want that gig.
Right? Do nothing, get money, profit. Yeah, no, totally.
You live in a nice house. You get money automatically deposited into your bank account every month. You don't have to do anything. You just have to be there just in case she comes home.
And when she comes home, you just entertain her. Like, that sounds so easy.
And you live in Fresno.
It's like, it's so hard to find acting jobs in Fresno. It's like, well, why are you living in Fresno if you're actors?
I mean, they don't even have to act half the time. Actually, more than half. Probably 90% of the time, they don't have to act. I bet you this was the first time they had to act in, like, years.
Yeah, which is why they sucked at it.
Yes. But still, it's like, I want that gig. Can I have it? I want it. I'll do it. I'll pretend. I just like to know how much they're getting paid, though. Obviously enough to
afford that house,
afford the house and everything, or whether it's not someone actually paid for them to live there. Like someone already paid the house, and they're just like, "You guys, this is where you live now."
I guarantee you, Rip did it. Rip is paying them, guaranteed.
Or some, I don't know.
Rip is being super shady about this.
Yes, I want to say he knows about it, but I don't think he's the one that did it. I want to say maybe his predecessor or something, or he knows who did it. I think it's someone that's a little higher up. I don't think this doesn't seem like something Rip would do, because right now there's no reason for him to do it. There's no why.
Well, the why is in the past and we don't know it yet.
Yeah. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like something Rip would do. It seems like something that he would help cover up because of something. So we'll just have to see on that part.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get very many answers. We didn't, as much as they showed, that we didn't get very many answers on it.
Really, all they did was find out that there were clones, kick the crap out of a lot of clones, and leave.
She kept the suit.
That was so funny. I'm keeping the suit.
Right. Well, the company is called Ava, so
yeah,
it's an actual company. And you know where it looks like? I've been watching a IRL stream on Twitch, and a guy actually lives in Japan, and he's been taking an IRL stream around Japan because it's the Cherry Blossom Festival there right now, and it's beautiful. But that where they went, that's what it looked like. It looked like a futuristic, almost Japan, like Tokyo or something like that. Yeah. That's what it reminded me of. As soon as they landed, I'm like, this looks like Tokyo or something. And you never know, could be based off of it, because that's what it kind of did look like. It kind of reminded me of that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's whatever. The future's pretty clean. It looks really clean. Yeah,
very clean.
But I have a feeling it has something to do with the company. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe there's something about the company that, I don't know. What if Rip saved her, got her out? She was the original, but he saved her and got her out, or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like maybe the Ava of that 2213 timeline is like dystopian. Like maybe Big Brother's watching and all the Ava clones are like controlled.
Yeah,
maybe it's like an iRobot. It is called Ava.
I
oh my god, shut up.
But that's what
it's like an iRobot future, which is scary.
That's why I always got the feeling when they were talking about when he said erase it. It was almost like a protective thing. It was, he wanted to protect them. I think, and that's how Rip is. He thinks he's protecting someone by doing something else, kind of thing. He means well, but doesn't necessarily come out well.
He means well, but most of the time he's an idiot.
Yeah. But yeah, I could see him doing that, though. Being, okay, we need to cover this up, because if they found out this, that, and the other thing might happen, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But I feel like this, that, and the other thing is going to happen no matter what.
Probably. So moving on to Steel and the fuck is Nick? Forgetting all their names now.
Wally?
I am so sleep deprived. Oh, yeah, Wally and
Nate.
Nate, that's the one. Nate. Got it. Wally and Nate, they run into Kuwasa. Oh, and they talk to Mari's dad, adopted dad, who we've only ever seen him in the. Did we see him in this show before? No, right?
Not in this show, no.
In Vixen, we've only ever seen him in animated form, so it's nice to see a real face.
I just love that he's just like, we've been trying to get her to stop.
Yeah.
You tell her. You're not telling her something I haven't already told her.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And I understand. But yeah, it's kind of nice to see that they put in that now that she doesn't have the totem now, it didn't get passed down, kind of thing. But the fact that she's still out there trying to fight, be a vigilante, but without the totem.
Yeah. Because it's very possible that she just learns about her ancestry. Because in the cartoon, she goes asking around about the totem to figure out her ancestry. So maybe she just finds out about her ancestry in some other way.
Yeah, maybe looking for her birth parents or something like that, and then blah blah blah.
Yeah,
adoption records and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, but I like when they do stuff like that. What happens, the consequences, what has happened in the future. It's changing. And yeah, and I don't know. I liked that little story arc.
Yeah,
almost a redemption thing for Kuwasa, kind of thing. And
yeah, it makes it extra sad too.
It does. And we do know now that if one totem bearer dies, they all feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And to have Mick really to feel that, it shook him up. And you could tell it shook him up.
Yeah.
Because when Zari felt it, she was like, Kwasa, she died. And he's like, yeah, I felt I need a beer.
Yeah.
He's like shook up about it. It's like you could actually feel. So it's like maybe this is a good thing for Rory to be wielding the fire totem.
Yeah,
besides
I think so.
cooking up hot dogs.
Oh my god. We'll get to that. But I feel like also, and I have nothing to back this up other than, I don't know, I think too much about some things sometimes. But I think that they feel it now because the totems are all in sync, you know, because they're all trying to be brought together, so they're probably all connected more than they normally would have been. And I think Zari more than anybody, her totem reacts to other totems. I feel like I don't.
Her totem was legit a part of her.
Oh yeah.
It was in her.
Yeah.
It was literally in her. But yeah, I think they all feel.
Mm-hmm.
Once they're with the people they're supposed to be with.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Oh, because
they didn't feel the death of the pirate lady.
Because she
wasn't supposed to be. Yeah, she wasn't meant to hold the totem.
So curious who's going to wield that one. I'm so curious.
Right? And it was really interesting. You couldn't really, you could tell that Kwasa wanted the best, but at the same time she was scared for her future. And I understand because she looked at Nate like an intruder. Mm-hmm. You're not my grandfather, blah, 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 and all this stuff. So it's like, did you know who your grandfather was?
She must have.
I don't know.
Or maybe, if she didn't meet him, she at least knew who he was within the tribe.
Maybe. Or I don't know. I just have this really on how they're going to go with it.
Yeah. Last week, I think it was last week, I talked about how I think they might kill Nate. And then that's a reason why Amaya will leave and go back to her time and do her thing. But now I'm thinking she's going to willingly erase her memory and dump herself back in her time.
She might, yeah.
But we leave the end of this episode with Amaya going back to 1992 Zambeze, which is bad. Because that it's bad because that'll change a lot. Yeah. It will completely change Mari's entire storyline. Because she was a baby. So,
yeah, who is... Kawasa's older, isn't she?
Kawasa's the older one, yeah. She remembers the attack on the
village.
The village where Mari was only a baby.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so many theories you could throw out there. Like, there's so much that Kawasa didn't know. It sounded like that her grandfather died before she knew him, almost, because she talks about her grandmother, because she was like, you were so caring and loving, but she never really talked about her grandfather, just that you're not my grandfather.
Yeah.
So he might have died, or it could, and theoretically it could be Nate and they're just not telling the kids, like no, that's not, that's not your grandfather, kind of thing, because he's a time traveler. How are you going to explain that to children?
Yeah.
Because that'd be a little weird. But, we don't know what they're going to do.
Well, the way they've shown the flashback of the attack on the village in 1992 a few times in the cartoon and in this show, I believe.
I think they did papers. I don't think they actually shown. They might have. I can't remember. I know they did.
I swear they showed a young Kuwasa. Maybe I might be thinking of the cartoon. But either way, it seemed like the grandfather wasn't around, so he was either dead beforehand or, because it seemed like it was just their mother and grandmother that were there.
That's what I'm thinking.
Trying to get them to safety.
I mean, if it is Nate, is her grandfather. They had one child, or as far as I know,
As far as we know, the one child, yeah, the mother.
Oh, yeah, they had one child, and he could have either died or she could have told him, or not told him. For all we know, she's pregnant now. And she could have not told him and then told the kids, oh, your grandfather was named this. It's something different. But, gave him, he was like this big hero kind of thing. But no one really knows because she never really came back with him.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be that kind of thing. We don't know. I can see her doing that, though. I can see her being like, I need to go back, and then finding out she's pregnant and then just not telling Nate because she doesn't want Nate to come back and wreck his timeline kind of thing.
Yeah.
I can see her doing that.
Nate's a legend, which means his timeline doesn't matter to the grand scheme of everything.
But I think it would matter if he went and stayed in her timeline. I think it would matter.
That's not what... Yeah. Listen. And she's talking like she interrupted her... timeline. She's like, if I had never come, I changed everything by coming on this ship. It's like, maybe you were always supposed to do that. You don't know.
Exactly.
You don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I have to bring up a couple things Red Bandit mentioned in chat. Apparently, there's a rumor that Gary might become Dr. Fate.
I don't know. Gary's kind of I don't know. Gary is just Gary.
I have to say, that would be a storyline I would be very, very invested in.
I don't know if that is, but whatever.
He's basically the Doctor Strange of the DC universe.
Oh.
With a really cool golden helmet. He's dope. He's awesome. Dr. Fate is so cool.
I don't know. I just can't see Gary doing that.
I know. Well, it's... Okay. I might be recalling this wrong, but Dr. Fate is you adopt you put the helmet on and it kind of possesses you.
Oh, kind of like...
So you lose a little bit of who you were to wield the power of Dr. Fate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
I don't know. It might be one of those things too. It brings out what your inner strength kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
The inner, hero that Gary's just a bumbling idiot. He's not really an idiot.
He is an idiot, though.
He is, but he is.
He tries so hard.
He's such a sweet, lovable idiot.
But precious idiot. But yeah. I don't know. I think watching him become Dr. Fate will be very interesting if that does happen. That's a rumor weird. I can get behind.
That's kind of, I don't know. Seems a little far-fetched, but that's just weird.
And he asks, what is Kuwasa's death going to do to the timeline? Probably nothing, because we don't know Kuwasa's future. This is like the most ahead we've seen Kuwasa.
Yeah, she's the future, so she could die and not really wreck anything because there isn't anything beyond that.
It's not the past.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to go into the future is always in flux, no matter what, until it gets solidified.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not sure it's gonna do that much to the timeline, but I can't see her staying dead again.
They left her body there. I don't know.
They did.
So I don't know how that would work.
I don't either.
Unless when she goes back to their tribe, she takes Kuwasa.
She changes something, yeah.
Yeah, and she takes because Mari's mom thought Kuwasa was dead.
Yeah.
That's why she left.
Yeah.
So because if Amaya goes back and finds Kuwasa and takes her as a child, that would change her fate.
It would. It would also change the fate of the water totem, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because if she's not there with Mari fighting that guy who had the fire totem, whose name I cannot remember, then that changes things.
And then also, wouldn't that change the fire totem, too? how the fire totem came to be?
Might, because Mari did need Kawas's help with the water totem to beat him, even though Mari in the end was the one who smashed it.
Yeah. So I don't know. A lot of things can be changed by just that one little thing. I mean, if she finds Kawasa and gives her back to her mom, and her mom didn't leave her there, then I don't know what happened. Will they both end up in foster care?
I don't know, because the mom dies.
I don't know. I haven't watched the animated series. I probably should.
She gets Mari out, but she ends up dying. Because Mari grows up in foster with her adoptive dad.
Yeah, so, I don't know how. I mean, there's a million and one ways that this could get screwed up.
So yeah, 1,000 ways that going back to the day that you die can go wrong, Amaya.
Yeah, the day you die, and the day one of your granddaughters becomes,
and your village burns to the ground, and
your granddaughter, basically makes a pact with Mollis to bear the water totem, and when we found that out.
Oh, wait, it happened in 1992?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know, but I'm just saying this is how it happened. I mean, she made a pact with him to bear the water totem, which I don't know if she was really supposed to bear the water totem at all. Because if she made a pact and he let her bear it, was she really supposed to be the one that bared it?
That's a good question, because when she gets the water totem in the cartoon, she wields it with no problem right away. Like, very intuitively she wields it and, dupes Mari and gets away. So, yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe she was meant to wield it.
Maybe, I don't know. But I mean, what Dirk's daughter Nora said, well, Mala said, but it adds another layers. Like, he's like, I gave you the water totem, I could have gave you so much more, kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, and also I think this is starting, well, it is starting to get on Damien's nerves right now.
Yeah, he wants his daughter back. He doesn't like that it's this demon calling the shots.
No, I mean, he thought it'd be a good thing because he, I'm gonna have all this powerful, but then something's taking over the one thing that he loved the most.
This is why I wanted to conquer the world, for her.
And now she's basically...
I just have to say, I loved the fake torture. There was something so unconvincing about hitting a wooden box and then Nate just screaming. It's like...
But when he did the counter prod, and he was just like, he's like, go ahead, I'm just not getting enjoyment out of this anymore.
Torture doesn't thrill me anymore.
And he's like, okay, Nate's just like, okay, this is your safe space, just let it out. And
God,
he's just like,
so good.
But it kind of give you an insight on, it has changed him, and it has changed Nora, and what Kawasa said to Nora, we don't always have to, we don't have to be our demons. And she's like, I like my demons. I think she likes it because it's keeping her there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
If she tried to fight it, he would fight more, and he would take over faster. He would take her over, and she wouldn't have any say in anything. She would lose herself, basically. I think she made this pact with herself, inside herself, saying, we will go along with this because I don't want to lose myself. Kind of thing. You know what I mean? Kind of it's a give and take kind of thing. I'll give him some of the power, give him some of the, but I'm going to keep part of me, keep me here. But I don't know how long that's going to last.
I don't think it's going to last very long because the marks on her face are getting bigger. Yep. Mollusk is speaking through her a lot more often. we're seeing more of his power. So we see him take Wally's lightning and throw it back at him.
He took his whole speed force. He couldn't move. He couldn't.
Yeah.
He couldn't speed.
Yeah, I guess what he did was suck all of the speed force he was currently using out of him.
Yeah.
And then he recovered and was able to run around again. But yeah, no, that was freaky. That was freaky.
I do love the Wally's like, I'm the fastest man with your second.
So you don't have to tell her that. That was so funny.
But yeah, I mean, and then when Amaya got this totem back, I had a feeling that because what her ancestor in the in between realm told her that the totem has been touched by evil now. When she got it back on, it wasn't blue; it was purple.
Yeah,
it's very mollusk, and then Laura trying to gloat, or Mollusk trying to gloat, whatever one. And Mario's like, no. Maya was like, no, that's no.
Which is actually interesting. Now that we're talking about the color of the spirits. For when Amaya uses it, it's always been blue, right? Okay. Because when Mari uses it, the colors change. At least from what I remember from the TV show.
Yeah, no, it's always been blue with Amaya.
Gold, she's had blue, she's had purple. So I'm wondering,
maybe it changed the totem.
I think the events that are happening in this season were always meant to happen. Because the totem has to go through this.
Yep, it's changed the totem.
Yeah.
But if you're supposed to wield it, you can control it, and obviously, she can control it. But yeah, it was very interesting to see that part of her be like, Nora's gloating, and then Amaya's like, no, not gonna happen, not happening.
And the same thing happened with the water totem when she ripped it out of Kuasa. It turned like from blue to purple.
Red. Yeah, like
a dark red purple.
Yeah, it was like a molten. That's what it was like. It was like it was melting into her skin or something. And obviously she's not going to be able to wield it because she's not the one to be able to wield it.
Well, she forced herself to wield the spirit totem, so I mean, she might be able to. She didn't
necessarily forced herself. She let when she just let it all go. That's when she became in tune with it. It was more her human side got through, and it melded with the totem.
But I feel like it was a little bit of forcing, because it kind of destroyed the inside of the totem.
I think that was more Mollusk than Nora.
Yeah.
I think that was Mollusk getting into the totem. That had nothing to do with Nora, actually. Nora's just a vessel, unfortunately. Willing or not, she's just a vessel. And he kind of made that known now. He's like, if you can't deal with, my vessel now, how are you going to deal with my true form?
Which I actually am thinking that whatever Amaya does in 1992 is going to be enough to fuck with the timeline, so that Mollusk is like, oh, look at that cage, it's gone. Look at me, I'm free.
I don't know. I don't know.
I hope she doesn't fuck everything up, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, there's, like we said, there's a million and one reasons, ways that she could fuck this up right now. And her going back is number one. Yeah. So we'll just have to wait and see. That's the kind of game we're playing right now. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I want to try a different format this week. I want to just, now that we're done talking about Legends, I'm just going to do the synopsis now, since we're already talking about it. Next episode is... I don't know if this is the actual title. I feel like it's a joke. Because the title of this episode is called Guest Starring John Noble. That is the title of the episode.
Okay.
With the timeline barely stable, the Legends must tackle 2 anachronisms at the same time and try to keep Mollis at bay. Sarah and Rip team up to stop Grodd. Nikki's going to be really happy about that one. From going after a particular target, leaving Nate and Wally to stop Amaya from changing her future. Meanwhile, the Legends think they have found a way to destroy Mollis, but they will have to create an uneasy alliance with one of their enemies. Probably Dark, because he wants his daughter back.
Probably.
Go out on that particular limb.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. So I'm guessing we're going to get a fuller form of Mollis, because he is, I'm pretty sure he is voiced by John Noble. And listen, man, I don't know. This title has me, it's thrown me for a loop, because it's got the actor's name.
Yeah.
In the title. So I'm very confused. I'm wondering if this is going to be like some meta shit.
Some meta crap. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is a very weird
title.
We'll find out next week, I guess.
Yes, we will. Moving on now to Black Lightning. I'll keep this pretty short because I'm going to be talking to myself.
Yeah, you can. Well,
so I'm going to be talking at you.
I'll just be like. Mm-hmm.
I'll talk at you. This is another really freaking good episode, and actually some dope ass fight scenes. We get even more of seeing the father-daughter team up, and then they're fighting together is so cool. Jefferson's making like these lightning shields, and she's just like stomping dudes off of balconies. Fucking awesome. And their teamwork. They just work together so well, and it just keeps getting better. Yes. But they're looking for the kids who disappeared 30 years ago, who are being held in this lab in suspended animation. And I'm assuming that this is what the ASA guy was saying when he's like, we've experimented on tons of metas. It's like, they're experimenting on these kids that they're keeping in a basement.
That sounds very S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah,
like,
very Hydra.
It does.
One of them's gonna come out, it's just gonna be Bucky.
They're all gonna run.
Yeah. And let's talk about them. Yeah. Oh, right, Gamby gets kidnapped. So, like, we're on the Gamby redemption train, because Jefferson's, like, he's not talking to Gamby, and Anissa is just, like, he feels bad for what he did. He helped you all these years to atone for it. It's like, just go talk to him. And then he gets kidnapped and gets the shit kicked out of him.
No one ever goes and talk to someone about their problems. No, that never happens in shows. Never! It doesn't matter what show you look.
It is also like a 30-year buildup of lies. So I think that was a hard one for Jefferson to let go and go talk to him about, but
yeah, no one ever. If you say, you need to go talk to the person about this, and they're like, no, and then it's like, I should have talked to you about this.
Well, I think even because they're torturing Gamby to get who Black Lightning is, because they know he knows who Black Lightning is. So they kidnap Jefferson when he's in his, like, he's in the school. He's his principal persona. You know, Jefferson Pierce. So they kidnap Jefferson Pierce and bring him to where Gamby is. And even after, like, he rescues Gamby and, like, Gamby's recovering, Jefferson still seems like he doesn't really want to talk. Like, just rest up. It's fine. He still seems like he doesn't want to talk, so. It's probably once Gamby gets better, they'll talk. But he got the shit kicked out of him. He did not look like he was doing too good. But now the bad guys know that Jefferson is Black Lightning because like, the power goes out. So
Did he jumpstart the power?
No, I think because they explained how his his electricity, his powers work in this episode. Jefferson can absorb lightning from sources around him. So he absorbed the electricity in the building, and the power went out. So the bad guys put 2 and 2 together, and they're like, Jefferson is Black Lightning. It's like, shit. Well, shit.
Leave it to the bad guys to put 2 and 2 together when, like, the cops and everyone else can't do shit. And all he's wearing is a mask.
Listen, I don't think the detective is... We didn't actually see him this episode, but I don't think the detective is too far behind in figuring out that Jefferson is Black Lightning. Because he's very smart. And he gives me, like, that, you know, Commissioner Gordon vibes, like... And, like, that... I don't know who was talking about it, but they were saying that there's a lot of versions of Gordon. You feel like he knows that Bruce is Batman, but just never says it. I feel like that's gonna happen. Like, the detective, whose name I cannot for the life of me remember. Probably because they never say his name out loud. But I feel like the detective...
always whispered.
Yeah. Or they call him detective, or whatever. But, like, he's gonna figure it out and won't say it out loud. You know, that kind of thing. But we'll know he knows. So Jefferson absorbs electricity into himself. And we find out that Jennifer, the youngest daughter, who just found out that she's got powers, she creates it. She is a generator. Which is how she fried the phone in her hand and set the papers in her hand on fire.
Excuse me, teacher, I burned my papers.
Yeah. Which is super cool. And her powers look different than Jefferson's lightning. Jefferson's lightning is blue and, like, static-y. And hers is almost like it's orange and, like, it floats around her. It, like, looks so cool.
So basically he's like socks that come out of the dryer without a dryer sheet.
Yes. The way they're making his electricity looks a little bit like... A little bit, not quite, but like Static Shock. If you watch Static Shock.
But I know what you mean. It's like static
electricity.
You know what I mean. It's like the visual representation of static electricity.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like somewhere in between static and lightning is what his powers look like. Gamby was making it sound like the metas have been around since before the particle accelerator went off. Probably. In this... I think this is a different Earth. I don't think this is Earth 1. I think here metas come from a different... Come about in a different way. Because on...
Fish oil?
Inhumans. I'm talking about metas.
Tomato.
X-Men? No. Mutants? Yeah, metas here seem to have come from this, Actually, they seem to... Because they went more into the research. Like the green light and that vaccine. Jefferson lays it out for Anissa when he's explaining it to her. And it seems like they were using it to calm populations of, like, say, protesters. If there's a particularly volatile city, they put it in the water to calm the people down. Which is A, messed up, and B, not cool. But
you don't know exactly what it's going to do
exactly.
for a long period of time.
Yeah, and it gave it that, whatever that chemical was.
Chemical X? Sorry.
All the references. No. Keep it coming. All the references. That chemical seemed to have triggered abilities in certain people. So like a small percentage. And
it reminds me of the fish oil thing.
Yeah.
For the Inhumans.
But this seems to be a lot of young people. Like it doesn't seem to be affecting older people. But it looks like it can get passed down because Jefferson got it when he was young, and he gave it to his children. Because it's only just
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen that in MCU or the Inhumans, so that it could be passed down. We haven't seen that.
We have with I was gonna call her Sky. Oh my God, Daisy and her mother.
Yeah, that's true. But she was. But when did she go through Terrigenesis?
I don't know. I can't remember. I don't. You know what? They might never. They might not have said what age she went through Terrigenesis.
Yeah, it got passed down to her mom because the DNA. So yeah, we really have. It's only.
Yeah,
it's only.
Yeah,
it's the only one.
The way it works within humans, at least with Earth Inhumans, we're not gonna get to Moon Inhumans. But with Earth Inhumans, it's a trait that you can get or not get from within your family. Because there was the siblings, the one guy who, oh my God, he never came back.
He was in the sea.
He's still there, isn't he?
Yeah, he got cocooned again, so he's probably still alive.
I just remembered that.
Sorry, totally different story.
Totally wrong.
Sorry,
But anyway, the two siblings, one was inhuman, one was not. So it's passed down, but you can have it and you cannot. It's not like your father's inhuman, you have to be inhuman. Like that.
It's a recessive gene.
There you go. Anyway, I was saying Jefferson's a meta. He gave it to his daughters. It was in his DNA was, I guess, altered, but it seems like only a certain people can become metas in the first place. So it does seem like it is triggered in them, but it is triggered by a chemical. At least that's how it sounds to me so far.
Unless they directly come out and say it, you're always going to be left guessing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so excited about Jennifer. Her powers look so cool. But she wants nothing to do with crime fighting. And actually, I'm very mad at Anissa this episode because she comes up on Jennifer all aggro and just, says totally the wrong things. And it's just like, Anissa, she does not have to be a superhero. She just has to learn to control her powers. And that is exactly what Jefferson says when he comes to Jennifer later. He says, you don't have to save the world. You can live your normal life. That is your life to choose. But you have to control it, otherwise you will blow up in public and hurt people. And so hopefully they'll train her, and it will look really cool. What I'm getting, honestly, I can already see, like, the three of them fighting together. Because Thunder, she is the hitter. She's gonna go in, she's gonna punch people in the face and rip walls off, just rip a wall in half or whatever she's gotta do. Jefferson can do the shields, he can do range attacks, and then I can see just Jennifer hanging back, feeding them power, because she's the generator. Like, that's how I see their dynamic working if the three of them fight together.
I mean, yeah, I do like that aspect, as you're saying, that just because you have power, you don't necessarily have to be a hero.
Yeah.
Or you don't have to go fight crime just because you have the willingness to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you have to learn to control it so you don't hurt yourself.
Yeah. You have to learn to control it.
Because she could very easily burn their house down. I'm surprised she didn't do it this episode.
Yeah.
Because she kind of accidentally blows up.
Yeah, there is that side. You have to learn to control it, whether or not you're going to go out and fight crime or not.
Yeah.
And there might be times where she needs to blow off steam, and she needs to have a safe spot for that to do.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if it builds up too if she doesn't use it.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be a neat thing that if you don't use your powers, it kind of builds up and then it can be like a bomb, basically.
Yeah, I mean that they could easily go that way because the way we found out that she is a generator is Lynn put her in an MRI machine, and her entire body was like a Christmas tree. She was just, her MRI was just glowing, her entire body. No, not an MRI, CAT scan. That's the full body thing is CAT scan, right?
You do both, yeah.
Both, whatever. I got like one of those in my entire life.
MRI is magnetic, and it's more localized, and CAT scan's more local.
Yeah, they did the whole body, so.
Yeah.
But because of the whole, like, Jefferson getting kidnapped and Gamby getting beat the shit out, they have to leave their house. So Jefferson takes them to his dad's old house, where his father was murdered 30 years ago.
Wonderful memories.
Yeah. Well, that was part of, like, the conversation. He's like, yep, my dad was murdered here, but there were good memories, too. And it's like, oh okay. So they're hiding out where I guess it's in a different part of town.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, I think about where we left. Oh, right. Gamby was telling Jefferson before he left that he's got to find the spotter. So Gamby's job when he was doing shady stuff for the ASA was finding the kids who had the powers.
Ooh.
And I guess he was called a spotter.
Mm-hmm.
So Jefferson needs to find the new spotter, who's integrated into the community, part of people's lives on the ground and stuff. And I thought they were going to save that for, like, next episode or whatever. But they revealed who it was, and it's the vice principal.
Of course. Those guys are always shady as hell.
Oh, my God. No, she always gave me a weird vibe, and I thought it was just because she was trying to, like, hit on Jefferson all the time. Which could be true, also. But
yeah.
She's the one who's feeding these kids to the ASA. Because they kidnap a little girl, or teenage girl in this episode, because she takes the drug green light, and she catches on fire, and they
somebody catch on fire.
Yeah, I guess she's got fire powers, and they immediately kidnap her. And it's actually we were talking about 2-Bits last episode. In reference to, like, the shady people that Jefferson knows. He did stop dealing drugs. I think that it was the first episode Black Lightning threatened him in.
Mm-hmm.
And so he did stop dealing drugs since then. But he was selling stuff, like DVDs and jewelry and handbags and whatever on the street.
Mm.
And he saw the girl get kidnapped, so he comes to Jefferson with that information.
Interesting.
Yeah. A woman tries to drop a microwave on top of Jefferson's head. It was, Black Lightning. Because he later comes to 2-Bits again as Black Lightning, to ask him more questions. And I guess they doubled the bounty on his head. So this one woman, like, drops her air conditioner and tries to hit him in the head. And then she throws a microwave out her window. It's like...
Can we get any more Wile E. Coyote mixing, dropping some anvils and pianos?
It was so funny. What the fuck else? I know there was something else. Oh! Yes. Before I get to Lala. The kid from we saw in the beginning of the series who works for Lala, for the 100. He's young. He's like 10. But he like sells drugs and shit.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it blows. But Jefferson, when he's Black Lightning, sees him dealing drugs and then comes to him as Jefferson Pierce. And I loved how they did that. And, like, as Jefferson Pierce, he invites him to the school to do a mentorship program, to give him more options so he doesn't have to deal drugs on the streets. And that reminds me of a lot of them, like, modern ways they're telling Batman stories now. Where Bruce Wayne's not just like, oh, I have to go keep up appearances, I have to pretend to be this rich playboy. Now, like, the big example I have right now is the Telltale Batman games.
Oh, yeah. I've seen some people play that, yeah.
Yeah, you can choose to solve a problem with Bruce Wayne as opposed to solving the problem with Batman.
Oh, nice.
And it can a lot of the times be better to solve it diplomatically than to go in as Batman and beat the shit out of people. So I like that dynamic between Jefferson Pierce and Black Lightning. Both men are saving the city. I love that. I think that's awesome.
Hope they do better than Batman.
Yeah, because a lot of versions of Batman, Bruce Wayne is like...
I've never liked Batman, so...
Like, Bruce Wayne is just like a face he puts on to, like, convince the world he's a real person.
Yeah.
And Batman's the one who goes and solves all the problems. Even in Batman vs. Superman, you know, Bruce Wayne solves some problems. It's not just all Batman kicking ass. So
I've never liked Batman.
That's okay. It's not for everybody.
He's just a whitey bitch to me. That's all he is.
There are whiny bitch
for
versions of Batman. Yes, I agree. There are as many different versions of Batman as there are of Superman, and there are so many different versions of Superman. So you find one you like and you latch onto it. You know what?
What do you think I latched onto as Superman? I haven't even seen the new ones, so
it's okay. You're not missing that much. I find it fascinating, however, but you're not missing much. Yeah, I now that I mention it, I don't have a favorite Batman. I have a Joker. Like, my Joker is Mark Hamill. I don't have a Batman. Duh.
It's Mark Hamill.
I guess Kevin Conroy is my Batman. I don't know.
Let's just put it this way. When I was a kid, I watched Batman. But I watched the TV show series that was on repeat from the 60s. And,
yeah, sure.
I watched corny Batman with Adam West. And that's the Batman I watched.
Yeah.
So.
I watched a lot of cartoons as a kid.
Yeah.
I still do. Anyway. Black Lightning. Let me finish this up. So I think the last thing I have to talk about is Lala. The drug dealer guy who he killed 5 people in the first episode. And he's back from the dead. Literally came back from the dead. We have no idea how. He just wakes up in his hotel room.
Voodoo.
Gotta be voodoo shit. I don't know. But he is seeing the people he has murdered. In the earlier episodes, when he first came back, he was seeing LaWanda, who he shot because she was trying to find her daughter, who they had... who was a prostitute in his motel, whatever. So he shot her, and so she was haunting him, I guess. He was seeing her as a vision. No one else could see her. He was talking to himself, basically. Looks like a crazy person. But then he gets a tattoo of her. So, she's kind of... I don't know how these spirit tattoos are gonna work, because he seems to be accumulating them gradually. Because this episode, he gets one of his cousin, who he also shot.
That sounds like that does sound like a superhero that has tattoos of people that they
I
killed.
know, and
I can't put my finger on it.
I
though.
mentioned this like a couple weeks ago. I don't want to look it up because I want to be surprised in this season. It's like Game of Thrones. I would rather watch the show. No offense to the books. Like, the books are great, but I would rather be surprised by the show, you know? So I'm going to wait until, me and Nikki are both going to wait until the end of this this season of Black Lightning to get the comic books, because we do want to go read some stuff, but we don't want to spoil anything. Like, if we read something in the comic that happens, you know.
Yeah.
So,
but no, that definitely sounds like.
I don't want to look it up.
I mean, as much of a non-comic book person I am, kind of, which is really sad, but that guy getting tattoos of people they killed, kind of like there's. I don't know. I've heard that, and I don't know if it was DC Marvel. I don't know, but I have heard that before. Yeah. So I think it's a thing.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see where that goes. Because Lala's his plan now that no one can get green light, or it's hard for them to get green light to then sell to people. So he's dipping back into normal drugs. So like I think he's got I think it's mostly weed and then heroin. I forget what it was, but he got 2 different drugs, and he's gonna sell those in the meantime when nobody can get green light. Yeah, and they're showing us how like cold Lala is almost, because actually how cold he is before and after his death. Because his cousin, who's haunting him this episode, he tells him that he didn't tell his cousin's mother that he was dead. Didn't show him didn't, let her bury the body or anything like that. So I guess his aunt just thinks her son is missing.
That's horrible.
Which sucks. Yeah, no, that's bad. And he does like a similarly cold thing this episode. He, as collateral for getting the drugs, he gives the dealer dude his mother's home address. Basically, if he doesn't pay the guy back, the guy will kill his mother. Yeah. Yeah. So...
Got some fucked up people here.
Yeah, no, Lala... We knew he was messed up before he died, and it seems to be continuing. He shot a guy just for, like, standing up to him, too, in this episode. Because the guy was like, "You're talking to yourself, man, you're crazy," and he just shoots him. So... Yeah, he also seems to... It's a little weird, too. He also seems to be defying death now, as well. Because another guy holds a gun up to him, and Lala just walks up to the gun and lets it rest on his chest and tells the guy to shoot him. The guy pulls the trigger twice, and it misfires twice. So I don't know if that's some extraordinary luck, or if he's got some kind of, like, death-proof shielding around him where, like... I'm almost thinking of, like, the luck-based meta from The Flash. You know? Like, he's just got this aura of magical luck or something.
Can I have that, please?
Right? Yeah, I don't know.
Or magical luck.
And as we're getting, like, to the end, we've got 3 episodes left.
Oh, wow.
As we're getting...
Well, yeah, because Supergirl comes back in April, so, yeah.
Yeah. As we're getting to the end, it seems like the mysteries of Greenlight, of Black Lightning's powers, of, like, his father's death, we seem to be getting those answers. And then we're just being given more questions in the form of Lala. And we haven't seen Tobias for a few episodes, so, like, who knows what's going on with that? Yeah, we're getting, like, all the science-y answers, and they're presenting us these kind of what I feel like are mystical questions. And I love when science and magic meet. That's, like, my favorite thing. Which is why I can't wait for Infinity Wars. because Tony Stark and Doctor Strange. It's gonna be great. Yeah. So that's all I have to say about Black Lightning. Let me see if chat had anything to say. So Lala sees dead people. Bet he would get along well with Haley Joel Osment. Yeah.
Might.
He might. He might Red Bandit. He might. Next episode is called Black Jesus, the Book of Crucifixion. There was an earlier episode called Black Jesus. I wonder if this one's going to have anything to do with that one, or if it's just going to or if they're just using the term again. They could just be reusing the term.
Oh, excuse me.
But the Book of Crucifixion. As suspicions grow that Jefferson Pierce is Black Lightning, the ASA arranges to have him arrested. Lynn seeks help from Detective Henderson. That's his name. Meanwhile, as Jefferson is in custody, Gamby and Anissa work together to show Black Lightning is still running around the streets of Freeland. I wonder how they're going to pull that one off.
I don't know.
Gamby, please don't put the suit on. You can't pull it off. He's not that tall. Or that broad. Can't pull it off. Yep. So that's that.
That's that.
I also wanted to bring up, I saw the trailer for the newest, the promo for the newest episode of Supergirl. And it looks like the toy maker is back.
So when's Daddy?
Yes. Yes. Did he die? I feel like he blew up, though. No, he didn't die? Okay.
They lost him.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. So Toymaker's back. And I'm super excited for Supergirl to come back. I've been really missing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good show. It really is. If you haven't been watching it, really you should. Yeah. It is. It's a really good show. It's a really good story-driven. It's a good ensemble cast, but there's a lot of female leads and stuff, so that's what I kind of like about it.
Yeah. Love it.
Of course, everyone does something stupid, but you know.
That's all of these shows, though.
Yep, it's
like,
all
without exception. But yeah,
all the stupid stuff.
Excited for that to come back.
Yes.
They didn't show any like trailers for the next episode of Arrow yet, did they?
I haven't seen any.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see any either, which is weird. I've been watching a lot of CW lately, so you would think I would see it.
Yeah.
I see a lot of trailers for Riverdale, and I'm just like, not yet. End first, and then I'll watch you.
Yeah, not yet.
Binging that sucker. So yeah, that's it for this podcast. You got anything else to say about?
No, I'm just interested to see where they're gonna go with this. There's a million and one ways they could go.
Yes, there is. So Rachel, where can they find you?
They can find me at Twitter at VikingWitch76 and on Twitch at VikingWitch.
You can find me at Cleomoto, where on Twitter and Pinterest always, but you can also find me on Facebook and Etsy at Cleomoto Crafts. I make stuff. You can buy it. It's not on my desk again because I'm a failure. It's all downstairs. Well, actually, no, I have to photograph them all, so that's why they're downstairs. Anyway, you can find all of us at ASO TV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, right here on Twitch and on YouTube. And follow our link to our Discord is in the Twitch descriptions. Go
all the stuff down below.
Our Discord for stuff and things and
memes.
And memes. I need to post more memes. I have like a cache of memes. Bye-bye.